The Rise Before the Fall. The year was 1199. The Almohad Caliphate, a mighty empire that once struck fear into the Christian kingdoms of Iberia, spanned the vast territories of modern-day Morocco, Algeria, Tunisia, Libya, and Mauritania. Their influence extended across the Strait of Gibraltar into Al-Andalus, Spain and Portugal, where they had ruled with an iron fist for decades. Their new leader, Muhammad al-Nasir, carried a name that meant the victorious. Yet history would remember him not for conquest, but for one of the greatest defeats in Islamic history, a loss that would forever alter the fate of North Africa and Al-Andalus. The Christian kingdoms of the north had long fought amongst themselves, but now, under the banner of the Pope's Holy War, they were united in one goal: the complete destruction of Muslim rule in Spain. Would Muhammad al-Nasir be the savior of Al-Andalus, or would he be the last Almohad Caliph to hold its lands? Before we dive into this gripping story of war, betrayal, and destiny, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe to uncover more hidden stories from history. The Christian Threat, a crusade against the Almohads. Since the victory at Alarcos, 1195, under Yaqub al-Mansur, the Almohads had dominated Al-Andalus, striking fear into the Christian kings. But time had changed everything. Pope Innocent III declared a crusade against the Almohads, calling for Christian unity. This was not just an ordinary war, it was a holy war, blessed by the Vatican and fueled by religious zeal. The Christian alliance consisted of Castile, led by King Alfonso VIII, Aragon, led by King Peter VII, Navarre, led by King Sancho VII. Portugal, supporting the crusade with reinforcements. For the first time, these rival kingdoms put aside their differences to crush the Muslim presence in Iberia once and for all. Meanwhile, in Marrakesh, Muhammad al-Nasir, ruling over the vast lands of Morocco, Algeria, Tunisia, Libya, and Mauritania, knew that war was inevitable. But he was determined to strike first: the Almohad counterattack, a grand army from across North Africa. In 1211, Muhammad al-Nasir began mobilizing a massive army from across the Almohad Empire. Moroccan Berber warriors from the Atlas Mountains, Algerian and Tunisian infantry, hardened from years of desert warfare Mauritanian cavalry, known for their deadly hit-and-run tactics, Libyan and Sudanese archers, skilled in long-range warfare elite Andalusian troops, trained in urban combat. With over 60,000 warriors, he crossed the Strait of Gibraltar into Spain, determined to reclaim Al-Andalus and push the Christian forces back into the north. But his greatest mistake was yet to come. The march to Las Navas de Tolosa. A fatal error. By the summer of 1212, the two armies were on a collision course. Muhammad al-Nasir positioned his forces in the mountainous region of Sierra Morena, near the fortress of Las Navas de Tolosa, believing that the rough terrain would make it impossible for the Christians to break through. And at first, he was right. The narrow passes and rocky terrain forced the Christian army into a slow, exhausting march. The Almohads watched from their fortified positions, confident that victory was near. But then, something unexpected happened. A group of Christian scouts discovered a hidden mountain pass, guided by local shepherds who despised Almohad rule. This secret path allowed the Christian army to outflank Muhammad al-Nasir's forces, catching them off guard. The Battle of Las Navas de Tolosa. The breaking point on July 16, 1212, the battle began. The first wave of Christian knights, led by King Alfonso VIII, launched a fierce assault on the Almohad front lines. Muhammad al-Nasir's army held strong, their shields locking together as waves of arrows rained down on the advancing knights. But then, the Christian army executed their masterstroke. While the Almohads were focused on the frontal assault, the hidden force that had discovered the secret pass swept around the rear. Suddenly, the defenders found themselves trapped between two forces. Muhammad al-Nasir's personal guard, a unit of black African warriors bound by iron chains, fought bravely, refusing to retreat. But as the Christian forces smashed through their lines, chaos erupted. Panic spread. The Almohad army collapsed, thousands trampled, slaughtered, or captured. Muhammad al-Nasir himself fled the battlefield, abandoning his once mighty army to its fate. The aftermath. The fall of Almohad rule. The defeat at Las Navas de Tolosa was more than just a lost battle. It was the beginning of the end for the Almohad Caliphate. Al-Andalus fell into disarray. One by one, Muslim cities, Córdoba, Seville, Valencia, fell to the Christian armies. North Africa suffered internal strife. The once mighty empire that ruled Morocco, Algeria, Tunisia, Libya, and Mauritania began to fracture. By 1269, the Almohads were no more. They were replaced by the Marinid dynasty in Morocco, while the remaining Muslim cities in Spain would hold out for just 2 more centuries before their final fall in 1492. Muhammad al-Nasir returned to Marrakesh in shame, only to die the following year in 1213, leaving behind a broken empire. Conclusion. A legacy of defeat. Muhammad al-Nasir had inherited a vast empire, but his failure at Las Navas de Tolosa doomed Almohad rule in both Spain and North Africa. But was he solely to blame? Could the Almohads have survived if they had played their cards differently? Or was their defeat inevitable against the rising Christian kingdoms? Let us know your thoughts in the comments. Was the fall of the Almohads destiny, or could they have changed history? Like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you never miss an epic story from history.